Hello, my name is Danny Nolan and I'm the Director of Chassis Sim Technologies. In this Chassis Sim video tutorial, what we're going to be discussing is how you go about incorporating when you need to deal with wind direction on the circuit. Believe it or not, it's actually a really straightforward, it's actually a very straightforward process. And the purpose of this tutorial is to walk you through how to do it. Now, to get going, what we need to do is we need to load a circuit of interest that you will want to be looking at. And what I've done is I've selected a circuit from the preloaded chassis sim list. In this particular one, it's Phillip Island. Now, what we need to do is the first step in incorporating wind direction into chassis sim is we need to create what's called a circuit orientation file. The way you do that is you just simply go to Circuit, you go to Edit Variable Grip Factors, and you click on the curvature file that you're currently using. Now, the curvature file that I'm currently using is Phillip Island. So I'll just double click on that and you see this comes in. Now, most times when you load in a circuit, you actually don't need to change, you don't actually need to do anything with it. Usually, most times, it actually comes through pretty much looking exactly what the circuit. If you need to change it for any reason, you've got this little tab called Map Properties, which basically allows you to change the start angle. So we can probably change that to say 90 degrees. And it also changes the corner you can also change the corner magnification. What the corner magnification does is it basically, the bigger this number, the more it accentuates the turns. The less this number is, the less the turns. Now, I should also add, if you are dealing with a figure of 8 circuit, you can just simply click on there for a figure of 8, or if you're dealing with an open loop, you click on open loop. So just to illustrate what that's going to do, I'm just going to change the start angle to 90 degrees and the corner magnification of 1.2. And if I click on OK, as you can see, that really has changed the orientation of the circuit. Plus what it's done is it's made the corners a bit bigger. Now, I want to undo that because clearly Phillip Island doesn't look like that. So I'll just click on OK, and there you go. So what we now need to do is, now that we've got the circuit shape being what we'd like it to be, we just click on Generate Circuit Heading File. And I've made one earlier, but I'm just going to override it in this example. Circuit heading Phillip Island. We click on Open. That's it. We've just generated our circuit heading file. Now, what we need to do is what we need to do is that to load this in and use it, we just go to the circuit menu, weather input box, and we click on Use Wind Direction. We put in the wind speed in kilometers per hour. The next variable here is wind direction from true north. So basically, this basically follows meteorological conventions, where you say if the winds are northerly, what that means is the wind is blowing from the north. So in reality, its direction is south. So, but what we do is we specify that degree from true north. So here I've got 0 degrees, so that basically means that 0 degrees, the wind is heading from the north. Then you'll see that I've got my start-finish. I've got my start-finish line direction from true north. This is basically the orientation of the car on the start-finish straight. So 0 degrees here basically means the car is heading in the northerly direction. And what I do is I load in my circuit orientation file, which is the circuit heading Phillip Island. Double click on that. And so what I've now got set up here is I've now got set up a headwind of 10 kilometers per hour heading down on true north. Now, the reason we've given you the ability to input it this way is if you had any GPS data where you could basically, for instance, if the start-finish straight was if the start-finish straight was, say, heading in an easterly direction, then what you would do is enter 90 degrees to represent the fact that the the start-finish straight was actually facing in an easterly direction. But for point of illustration, let me just leave it as 0 for the time being. So this basically represents the fact that we now have a 10-kilometer headwind to deal with. So I click on OK, and that applies the change. And then to run it, all I've got to do is click on Start, go to Start Simulation. Now, to save a bit of time, I've already run some simulations. So let me just let me show you the effect that a tailwind has. Sorry, a headwind that a headwind has. So here's my headwind. I click on OK, and I'll just overlay the two. The red's no base wind. The black is with the headwind, and as we can see, just zooming in on the start finish straight, as we can see, we've got before the headwind, we've got a speed of 269.4 kilometers per hour, and with the headwind, we've got 265.7 kilometers per hour. Now, to incorporate a tailwind is actually really simple. We just simply go back to weather input box, and if we want to incorporate a headwind, we just simply, let's just say that in this particular example, we now have a southerly to deal with, and the car is heading towards the north. We just simply type in 180 degrees and click on OK. So now what we're dealing with is a tailwind. So we've got our car facing north, and we've got the wind coming from 180 degrees from true north, which is in fact south. So that's 180 degrees. And to show you the effect of that, let me just get rid of the headwind example and let me load in the tailwind example. That's the baseline with no wind. This is the tailwind. So moving in on the start finish straight, as we can see, without the tailwind, we're at 262 kilometers per hour. With the tailwind, we're dealing with 266 kilometers per hour. So there you go. That is, as you can see, incorporating wind direction in Chassis Sim is just a very, very simple process. What we need to do is step one is create the circuit orientation file. That's done in Circuit, edit variable grip factors, importing the curvature file. And then if you're happy with the shape, we click on generate circuit heading file, and we generate our and we just simply choose our circuit heading file. Click on open. There's no need to repeat this process since I did it earlier. And then all we need to do is go to Circuit, Weather Input Box, click on Use Wind Direction and Velocity, specify the wind speed, specify the wind direction from true north, and specify the circuit orientation from true north. Remember, and just a quick orientation, just remember 0 is north, 90 degrees is east, south is 180, west is 270 degrees. So effectively you're drawing a 360-degree circle around with 0 starting from true north. And then lastly, we click on circuit orientation file and we load in our circuit orientation file as we created as we created a short while ago. That's all that's all there is to loading wind direction into Chassis Sim. So have a play, enjoy, and you can really see the effects that this is going to that wind direction can have on your car setup.